we talk about energy issues, the SADC bloc is spearheading efforts to address power challenges within the region with a week-long conference that is set for February of next year. Energy experts, policymakers and development partners are expected to convene in Victoria Falls from the 23rd to the 27th of February next year to explore strategies for improving energy efficiency and promoting the use of renewable energy. More details in the following report.
Energy transmission and supply has been noted as a key area requiring urgent attention, with 50% households affected across the region. Southern African countries are still struggling with prolonged hours of load shedding and power outages. In recent years, climate change has had a major negative impact on countries relying on hydroelectric power generation like Zimbabwe and Zambia, leading to reduced power supply. Now, these are the challenges the conference aims to tackle, including value addition and sustainable energy adoption across the Southern African region. Last year, experts met in Botswana, where delegates deliberated on productive use of critical minerals for energy transition, a conversation likely to take center stage once more. The upcoming conference is expected to outline practical steps towards achieving these ambitions, especially in advancing transmission and sharing sustainable energy solutions.
Transmission constraints. This is actually a bigger issue. We have developers that are really trying to say, if we develop this power plant, how are we going to evacuate this power to the load centers? So transmission is a big issue, both internal transmission as well as cross-border transmission.
In Zimbabwe, research by the Ministry of Energy shows that the country is currently operating with 30% power supply deficit, affecting both industry and household. Financial constraints is one of the major challenges hindering the achievement of energy sector set goals. However, the ministry remains optimistic that this gap can be closed before 2030 if local financial institutions can enhance energy sector investment not only in Zimbabwe but across the bloc.
The thrust now is not just to go and get international financial institutions, bilateral or multilateral, but it also to get domestic financing. And I'm very happy that in Zimbabwe and many Southern African countries, our capital markets are doing very well and they are already investing in the energy sector.
Contributing to the bloc's aspirations to secure funding for energy sector development, Zimbabwe launched Zimbabwe Renewable Energy Fund earlier this year, a vehicle aimed at raising $100 million, set to boost investment in renewable energy projects. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Energy, Gloria Magombo, says the government remains on course to meet the renewable energy targets, noting that energy public-private partnerships remain key.
And youth, those are some of the target market for that fund. The role of this initial injection by government and the UN, the United Nations Sustainable, is catalytic. The idea is that once the funding starts going in, it will then be a revolving fund, which will then, as it gets paid back and more money is then put into the market. And we also develop the confidence which is required for the ability to encourage local funding to move forward.
Energy shortfall constrains economic productivity, and they remain a critical area. Expectations are high on that the SADC Sustainable Energy Week will generate actionable solutions to drive the SADC bloc towards energy security and sustainability. For ZTM Prime, I am Sithaji Gwaza.